Let's do a little review today and add a little material as well about 9/11. And thinking about how the Lusitania was the false flag event for World War I, and tying that into Pearl Harbor. And man, you start doing this date durations thing, and it's amazing some of the things you come up with. But more on that another time. Right now, on the Lusitania, there was 139 people. 139 Americans died. Remember how a few videos back I said I just figured out the riddle of 139, and then I discovered this, Freemasonry in the alphabetical order cipher, which you can find by going to thegematrinator.com and open up the calculator, type in the word Freemasonry, and you'll see in the very first cipher that it equals 139. Now, there was 139 people Americans on the Lusitania. Well, I'm just getting my words all jumbled up today. So anyway, and remember how I said 139 divided by pi equals 44, and kill equals 44, and kill also equals 17. Punch it into your calculator to see what I'm talking about. Now, on the Lusitania, there was a total of 1,198 people killed total. Okay, 1,198. What's that look like? 9/11 again, right? Now, you might remember that from George Bush's New World Order speech to Robin Williams' death on August 11, 2014, was 1,195 days. Remember we were talking about how Robin Williams' death was a prediction. Okay? A very obvious prediction of something to come, some horrible event is going to come, probably on August 11th. Now, when we look at all the 9/11s, look what we see. We see from George Bush's New World Order speech, which was 10 years before 9/11, to the day on 9/11/1991, to the Cole bombing of October 12 of 2000, was 9 years, 1 month, 1 day. 9/11 again. Coincidence? No, not really possible. From that same speech to Sandy Hook, which was a shooting on 12/14/2012, 1,109 weeks. There it is, 9/11 again. See? 9/11. And now, in days from that speech to 9/11 was actually 3,653 days. And from the New World Order speech to the Parkland shooting was 9,653 days. Just like from the sinking of the Lusitania that began World War I to Pearl Harbor, which began World War I, was 9,652 days. Just one shot. You really think that's a coincidence? They've been pulling this crap on us for a really, really long time. Now, I'm going to erase that for a minute and go into some things I learned. Now, I am a work in progress, folks. I keep learning this information. And as I'm learning it, I'm revealing it to you, okay? Now, I don't believe in this secret society crap. I want to proclaim it from the housetops. So if I know something, I'm going to share it with you. It may not be fully developed. Maybe that I may come back later and say this was wrong. I actually said pi slightly wrong the other day. It wasn't. I actually thought it was 1.61, and somebody told me it was 1.68. And rather than look it up, I just believed them. It was actually 1.618, so we were both kind of right. But I make general little mistakes, but it didn't have a whole lot to do with the whole what I was talking about anyway. But now you've seen some 9/11 with these dates. Now let's talk about something else, okay? I learned a little bit about the number 27. As you know, we see this as ritual. Punch that into your gematrinator.com, okay? Put it in your calculator, and it equals 27. Like right, ritual comes from the word rite. You do your last rites or whatever. Yeah. Well, also, it is part of the number or the concept of E. Okay? So the big concept of E, which stands for growth over time, is E equal, I looked it up this time, this ain't right, okay? I mean, this one ain't wrong, I mean, I got this one right. 2.718, okay? 27. Okay, so that's why rite and ritual is so important. So when you see progress over time in the same thing, you realize that they're developing through rites, if you will, something that is coming later, that's developing, it's growing over time. Now, for instance, like from July 4th, 1776, to the New World Order speech that George Bush made on September 11 of 1991. That was the difference between those two dates. 11,227 was days or weeks. I forgot. Probably weeks. Okay. Well, you can look up on the calculator, but it doesn't matter. Look, 1, 2, and 7. You see that? You see the 27? Okay. 1, 2, 7. This is why you keep seeing this over and over again. From the Tree of Life shooting, or well, not from, but the Tree of Life shooting was on 10/27. Not hard to see that, is it? 10/27. 1, 2, 7. 1, 2, 7, right? So simple. Pearl Harbor was on what day? 12/7. 1, 2, 7. What was the names of the World Trade Centers that went down? They were World Trade Centers 1, 2, and 7. See that? Not done yet. Still got more. But it's not a very big board. So, got to erase and go on. You can always pause and go back if you miss something. By the way, you guys really should write this stuff down like I do. You're not going to remember everything unless you're some kind of savant or something, you know, which is not me. This is all written down for me, okay? I don't have that kind of memory. You know, from the Lusitania, the sinking of the Lusitania, which was the false flag that started World War I, to the Korean War, the beginning of that war, was 12,774 days. Okay, 1, 2, and 7. I mean, what are the chances, right? Oh, let's see. From the New World Order speech, going backwards to the Gulf of Tonkin, the thing that began Vietnam, you know, the false flag event there that got us into Vietnam. 27 years, 19 days. 271. I mean, how many times have we got to see this? And the coal bombing was on October 12. I should probably check that, but I think that's right. 1, 2, 7, right? October 12. 1, 1, 2, and there were 17 killed. That's right. So you got the 1, 2, and then 17 killed. That's why there were 17 killed. 1, 2, 7. You see? It's interesting also that pi, which can be expressed as 22 divided by 7, is a whole lot like E, you know? Which is 2.718. You know, it's just 27 here. That might be incidental, it might not. There might be some mathematical relationship. I don't claim to know everything. I don't know everything by any stretch. I'm definitely not a mathematician. I can use a date calculator just like I can use a normal calculator, you know. Punch in numbers and just kind of look at what I see. And that's all you got to do. You don't have to be a genius to do this stuff, okay? It's not that hard. The Parkland shooting in Florida, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Punch that into your Grammatrinator. And in the Jewish cipher, it equals 2222. And in the septenary cipher, it equals 117. 217. So, you know, you can't... 1, 2, 7. It's just a reordering of the same numbers. Now, if you think between all these 911s, all these 1, 2, 7s, and they're just coincidence, I mean, you know, you're going to have a better thinker than that. Look at this right here. This is an ad I got in today's mail. I don't know if my camera, if you see it that well, I think you will. Okay, this is an AT&T ad. Came in my mailbox today. Try to hold it really still here for just a second, okay? If you can see it, it says 117 right here, and it's crossed out. And in the phone number down here at the bottom to call, 119. You see that right there? 117 crossed out, 119 to call at the bottom. Well, you know, we've already talked about 117 right here. We talk about it in just about every video, how it's the Mars war symbol. And so the Mars war symbol, and yeah, I'm waving my kid on. I'm like, go on. No. She's trying to interrupt my video right now. That's what happens when you have kids. So anyway, see, it makes me lose my thought process when I do that. That's why I tell them not to interrupt me. But anyway, so it's 117, right? And why is that important? Well, because it's crossed out because that used to be 911, okay? 7-Eleven used to be 911. Like the store, is a Jew-owned store. The 7-Eleven store, well, 7-Eleven equals Jew-owned, and or Jew-owned equals 7-Eleven in your Gematrinator, okay? In Jewish cipher, I think. Type in the word Jew-owned, and it'll equal, I think it's 117 reversed, or the same as that way. All right, well, that's because on the Julian calendar, 9/11 used to be 117. Okay, so now we have the Gregorian calendar, and they moved it. So that's why September, the Sept means 7. September 11 used to be the 7th month, you see. So 7/11 is now 9/11. And you don't think these guys know that? Of course they do. They're telling you right there. They crossed out the 117 and gave you a 911 or a 119 to call at the bottom. You see how that works? It's so simple. And you'll see this every day at your own house. Here, I live in a small town, and we're seeing these numbers all over the place. And you can too in your town. So, anyway, it probably looks like I need to make another call to my wife for some reason. So, yeah, how that goes. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.